Hey, and what is up, movie viewers? Dena Views and Reviews here, asking, what you watching? Well, today I am watching Dear Mama. This movie stars Mimi Fletcher, Joanna Gentry, Tupac Shakur. It is written, directed, and executively produced by Alan Hughes. Now, this was a 5-part docuseries that was on FX and it was on Hulu. I think they are the same network, but it is a documentary series that follows the life and legacy of Tupac Shakur and his mother, Afeina Shakur. I like those names. Tupac Amuri Shakur. He was named after an Incan revolutionary, and Afeina means dear one or lover of people. Names can often reveal traits like wit, variation, sensuality, adventure, curiosity. I just love the uniqueness and the beauty of both those names. I have always looked at names, their monikers. I like the immitableness of what we deem black names in general. I like them more so because they invoke or seem to implore power or an expectation of it. Now, Dear Mama chronicles, or shall I say, it delves a bit into Afeina Shakur's past as an active member of the Black Panthers, as it also, at the same time, journals the life of her son, the celebrity that we all know as Tupac Shakur. Now, what I personally enjoyed the most about this docu-series was seeing Tupac Shakur speaking in his own words, seeing all of the clips of Tupac before the fame and fortune, or shall I say, before he became Tupac, the infamous rapper and actor that we are all familiar with. It was picturesque to me to see him in his youth, to experience his innocence, those big bright eyes and charming wit, and to hear him express his clear thoughts about his upbringing, what he had experienced as a child, what he had seen around him, what his mother had embedded in him. Him just speaking in his own words was compelling. And when I saw him carrying a notepad around with page after page of poetry that he had written, I too believed him to be a lyrical genius. I think it allowed a peek into what is his muse, how he got his inspiration, and what contributed to his somewhat what I consider his personality duality. The documentary revealed his love for his people and what shaped him into what the world saw, and perhaps why some may have mistakenly saw him as a threat or as a bad influence. Now, it really gave me the impression that there was so much more to this young man that other than what the media had painted him out to be. And as we quite understand, it's just so interesting to learn more about this phenom. His love of poetry, his acting, and the classes that he took, his family, and his love for his people, it was all admirable. Now, March 14, 2023 marked the 28th anniversary of Tupac's album, Me Against the World, featuring the song Dear Mama. Wow, it's like, where did all the time go? Time is flying. But this song, Dear Mama, it happens to be one of my favorite songs by this entertainer. I do like How Do You Want It with Jodeci, but I still tear up listening to the lyrics of Dear Mama, and it really goes to show it wasn't just another song for him. He was actually rapping about his life, what he lived, what he experienced, and what he saw. It's a beautiful song, and most people can relate to the feeling, and it's a beautiful thing to see. It's just a nice thing. Two things that I found simply enchanting while I was watching this movie is his natural ability to write poetry. It was just natural for him. It just flowed. And some of us are blessed with that. And his unwavering love and respect that he had for his beautiful, strong black mother. Yes, I said strong. Not because she wanted to be strong, but because she had no choice other than to be strong and bear the burden that comes with trying to make the world a better place for the life that she wants to bring into this world. And she was working hard. In spite of her heavy burdens, she wanted to try and make a difference for her people and for the next generation. And I admire this sister for that. And what is so beautiful is that Tupac understood her struggle, and he wanted the very best for her, even when she failed. He wasn't pleased, but even when she was at her lowest moment, when she became addicted. And I understand this was also something that was kind of pushed on her as one of the agent guys, as it said, introduced her to drugs. But either way, Tupac knew that she was trying to dull the strain that was on her. She knew. He knew what she was feeling. He was upset, but he understood what she was dealing with. And he knew the heavy burden that she was carrying and how it had worn her down. And he wanted to give her relief from that strain with his music and talents. He wanted to get the resources to change her existence. And when he purchased her a home, I was cheering for him. And even when the legal matters and overwhelming lawsuits robbed him of his fortune, from jail, he told Suge Knight to rent his mother a house. His focus was on his mother. And it's just so beautiful to me. But in the documentary, it says how Suge said he would not rent her a house, he would buy her a home. And all I could think was, Tupac deserved better from life. Now, I came to the conclusion that Tupac was a man of ambition. He was a compassionate person. I think he was misunderstood, and I think he was made to look a certain way by the media, because the media can make you a darling, or they can make you look like a monster. We know about media manipulation, because we know that the media has the power to make you a star. They can make you loved by all, or they can make you out to be the villain. And it is true that those that control it wield a whole lot of power, because often we believe what mass media tells us to believe. So that is very common today. And this has always been used as a weapon by those in power. The media serves as an extension of their power. So it can be used to uplift or bury whom they please when and how it is deployed. So even though his mother had this fight with addiction and it took a toll on her, it also took a toll on Tupac's life. He showed respect for his mother and even managed to forgive her, for she was his role model and the person that taught him love and self-reflection and the caring and compassion for others. So his song Dear Mama showed he understood and appreciated her sacrifices. And this is why I will never apologize for standing with or for any woman that is working hard and trying to do her best to be mother and father, provider and protector to her child or to her children without the aid or assistance of the absent parent. I will always have a bias for women who do this, or if it's a man, in rare cases, I will always have compassion for them, because it's a difficult job and it's a burden that you love, but it's not always easy. And people often, they can't comprehend or they don't want to comprehend, but I don't make apologies. I just for standing with, once again, working mothers or single mothers. Now, the lyrics in Dear Mama were epic. They were relatable and they were so commendable. That kind of unwavering love is becoming more and more rare these days, as it seems today more and more modern men are losing their identity. And so many struggle with manhood and what it all entails, as well as their ability to even deal with sadness, with displeasure that is caused by non-fulfillment of one's hopes or dreams or even expectations. I've always been impressed by men that can respect, honor, and appreciate all the sacrifices that parents make or have made for their benefit when rearing them, children in general. In this case, of course, in majority of cases, it is the mother that makes the biggest sacrifice. But I always say give her her flowers while she is alive to enjoy them. But I gotta say I was completely impressed with Afeina Shakur's amazing ability to serve as her own lawyer and defend herself against the trumped up charges the government of America levied at her and other members of the Black Panthers. Afeina proved to be a very, very intelligent Black woman. She boldly stood up with no legal degree. And in spite of all the COINTELPRO agents and accusations against her and the Black Panthers, she took command of that courtroom and she represented herself. I was completely amazed. Here this Black woman stood, and even when the other Black Panthers left her alone to fend for herself in that courtroom, she was able to establish the role that the FBI COINTEL program and agents played in setting up the organization. Agents were doing the planning and the inciting and the initiating the details or ideas of what they should do. She asked the person, was it as a Black Panther member or was it as a FBI informant or agent? Because they were the ones that came up with all of the tactics or plots that they were being levied or they were being accused of planning. She made it clear that it was the agent's idea all along. So she was extraordinary with her compelling argument, and this enabled her to get freedom from jail. It was quite impressive, and this is why I gave this docuseries a 4-star out of 5. I really felt that Tupac had so much more to offer the world. He was a talented, compassionate person that kind of got caught up in this wicked game, this imitation of life, trying to represent something other than what he really was. And I wish that he would have been able to have guidance to show him how to maneuver and navigate in such a world designed to prematurely exterminate the mind and body of its former slaves, those born with his nature, this understanding, because his mother was dealing with a lot of things when she was carrying him, and I'm sure she passed it on to him in her womb. Now I felt his compassion for his people and people in general. I felt he had a quality within him that made him care more than normal people was, and even down to his anger with what he saw at the lack of motivation from others who claimed to be down with the cause or said they wanted to make life better and rid themselves of false supremacy concepts and laws. I think he was angered because it seemed that nothing was happening, that they were doing nothing, and that he kind of felt like they were afraid to build exclusively for themselves or kind to help themselves out. So I think he was frustrated, and it came across as anger. I think it was disappointment. I'm going to say that. And I only wish he had devised a different means of settling his soul, and that he would have been able to put down his stick and his armor and just tap into his mental tranquility and bring it to the surface. Even for just a little while, it would have been an opportunity for him to switch off a little bit and try to get some peace here, instead of feeling like it's him against the world. It takes a toll on the body, the mind, and the soul. He's trying to be all things to all people. Now, what is odd is I don't like so-called gangster rap, and I won't put him in that category, but I like Tupac's style of rap, minus some of the bad words now. But I want to recommend this documentary to you. It was very interesting. I think I learned a lot from just watching it about Tupac. I would highly recommend this documentary if you are interested in learning more about the artist that is Tupac Shakur. Now, Dear Mama is rated TVMA. If you would like to check out Dear Mama, you most certainly can, because it is currently streaming on Hulu. Be sure to subscribe and leave me a comment on your thoughts on this movie. This has been Dena Views and Reviews. Like, share, subscribe, and join me for my next review and our recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what you watching?